In this video, I want to give you guys some updates on a couple of PlayStation 4 JRPGs, and on top of that, we've got a new Nier game. It's not going to be on consoles, however, it is going to be on mobile. It is Nier Reincarnation. We'll talk about that at the end of this video, because the game doesn't look bad, but I know it's a game that everybody would have liked to see on a console. Nonetheless, we'll cover that at the end of this video. Okay, first of all, Scarlet Nexus is getting a playable demo, and it will be coming to Xbox first, and then it will also be coming to PlayStation 4 later this month. The playable demo, which will include both of the campaigns until the first major encounter. Bear in mind there's two different characters, so that's what they're talking about. It'll be available on Xbox on May 21st, and then it will be available on PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 1 week later on May 28th. The game itself will be launching on PC, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series S, Xbox One on June 25th worldwide. This is a game that I am very excited for. I've talked about it before, but Bandai Namco has done a pretty good job cultivating Tales of into being a pretty solid, second-tier JRPG series, so to speak, but they've relied on that quite a bit. Now it's kind of nice to see them putting their emphasis on another JRPG. I mean, Tales of is still big. We got Tales of Arise coming out in September. It's honestly a little wild to see Bandai Namco publishing two major JRPGs within the span of less than 3 months, and they're all inning on Scarlet Nexus because, by the way, outside of the game coming June 25th, there's actually also an anime starting July 1st. Yeah, you don't see that often where the focus is on the game, but then it also eventually gets an anime, but the anime is announced before the game is even out, so they are really all inning on this game and the IP, so you imagine that this is going to be something that they have an emphasis towards the future, and this is going to be one of their core IPs going forward. That is just a hypothesis by me. That's just, me theorizing, just because they are putting so much of their stock. I mean, they're putting out a demo, they're putting out an anime, and they are, putting a lot of effort behind the game. I mean, if you look at the people that are working on this game, they've got some star-studded talent, and bear in mind that this is like kind of a brand new genre. Like I said it before, but I've never heard the term brain punk in my life before. Maybe I've been living under a rock, but brain punk is the first time I've heard of it when it was used with Scarlet Nexus. So I'm interested to see how that is going to, unfold throughout the story with two playable characters. The story being pretty interesting. I think there's a lot of potential with this game. I just really hope it delivers, because there's a lot of JRPG competition these days. I mean, not just in the coming months, I mean, like, just all throughout this past generation. You have a high standard to live up to when there have been games like the Final Fantasy VII Remake, Persona 5, even a Tales of Berseria was really good, and even the Ys titles have been really, really good, so it's not like you can get away with a 7 out of 10 JRPG anymore. Maybe you could back in the day when the JRPG pickings were pretty slim over here in the West, but now you need to offer high-quality JRPG titles if you really do want people to be interested. And with this, given the amount of emphasis they're putting in on it, I imagine that they have a lot of confidence in Scarlet Nexus being a stellar game, but we'll see how it turns out. You're going to be able to try it out, see if you like it on May 21st if you got an Xbox, May 28th on PS5 and PS4. And remember, this is going to be on all platforms, so it's a cross-generation title. If you still are rocking a PS4, you're going to be able to play it. If you have a PS5, you'll be able to pick it up, see some upgrades, and you'll be good to go. By the way, if you do play the Scarlet Nexus demo, it will allow players to unlock some exclusive bonuses. The Bunny Ear Mask attachment and the Force Field MK2 plugin will be unlocked by playing Yuto's story, and the OSD Standard Issue Pack attachment and the Power Enhance Mark II attachment by playing Kasane's story. So that is something to note as well, giving you extra incentive to play the demo. Again, really hoping for the best out of this one as it drops June 25th. Okay, moving on from that, Nioh, The World Ends With You. Yes, World Ends With You is finally getting a sequel. I think this is something people have been waiting on for a long, long time. Has gotten its opening movie trailer, and then there's also some Japanese commercials that are out. I'm gonna be honest, I am not a gigantic fan of some of the presentation elements, but at the end of the day, I'm probably in the minority on that, and it's still The World Ends With You. I was in love with this game back in 2008 when it came out on the Nintendo DS. It was priced like higher, it had the Square Enix tax attached to it when, typical DS titles would be $29.99, and then Nintendo first-party releases would be $34.99, and then for whatever reason, Square Enix games were like, nah, we're gonna price it at $39.99, and I paid that $39.99 for the World Ends With You. and it was an awesome game with some of the best music ever. And if nothing else, if you watch this opening movie trailer, you can really get that World Ends With You vibe going on when you talk about the music. The music is gonna be awesome in this game. I can already expect that, and that's honestly, in my opinion, one of the more underrated elements of any game. You gotta have a stellar soundtrack, especially in a JRPG. When you take a look at the competition and music out of JRPGs, Nier, Final Fantasy, some of the Tales of games with their opening songs, I mean, you gotta have a good soundtrack these days to stand out as a JRPG, so World Ends With You is absolutely gonna have that, if nothing else. Neo, The World Ends With You is due out for PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch on July 27th worldwide, and it will be coming to PC through the Epic Games Store later in the summer, so yeah, you can play it on a lot of different platforms. Interesting that it's not coming to Xbox One. I imagine it is going to see an Xbox One release sometime in the future, because it's coming to PC, it's coming to PS4, it's coming to Nintendo Switch. Why is Xbox getting shafted? I don't really understand that, but nevertheless, super excited for that. And if you never played World Ends With You, a little bit hard to play if you only have a PS4 or a PS5. It's on mobile phone, however, and the mobile version is pretty darn good. I know it's easy to meme on mobile games and everything like that, but you can get it on mobile, and I believe it's $15.99, so it's not like it's super expensive. The Nintendo Switch version is pretty good, and if you can dig out a Nintendo DS, that version is still pretty solid. The mobile version is superior to that, of course, but the OG DS version still works pretty well. Lastly, I do want to cover this because Nier is in the news cycle right now. Nier Reincarnation English trailer and pre-registration has opened for the West. Nier Replicant, of course, came out. Guys, I am loving that game. I already beat it, but I want to go back and get the true ending since I missed out on that, but that game is phenomenal. That music, so good. And I've been saying that, you know, it's not going to be as good as Automata, it's not going to be as good as Automata, but man, it's pretty darn close to Automata. I'm really digging it, and I think it's one of the best games of the year thus far. However, more on Nier Reincarnation. This is a mobile title, and publisher Square Enix and developer Applebot have released the official English trailer for Nier Reincarnation, as well as open pre-registration for the iOS via the App Store and Android via Google Play. Nier Reincarnation first launched for iOS via the App Store and Android via Google Play on February 18th in Japan, and it does look to be, I know we meme on mobile games and everything like that, but it still looks to be a solid outing for a mobile experience. I mean, it looks like a lot of elements of Nier have been retained, and it's got that Nier element through and through. Battle system is quite a bit different, of course, as an action command RPG for mobile. The story notes, it is a place called the Cage. A girl awakens on a cold stone floor. She finds herself in an infinitely vast place filled with buildings that touch the very sky. Guided by a mysterious creature who calls herself Mama, she begins to explore her new surroundings to reclaim what she lost and atone for her sins. She sets off on a journey through this place of unknown creation, a place known as the Cage. So it does seem like it's got quite a bit of depth to the story as well. I am not too familiar with the Japanese release of this, but honestly speaking, I don't play mobile games all that much, but this is gonna be one I'm gonna have to check out. And again, pre-registration is alive right now if you do want to check it out. And that's gonna wrap up this one. Scarlet Nexus getting a big demo. That'll be out May 28th on PS5, PS4, 1 week ahead on Xbox. If you got an Xbox, an anime coming as well, July 1st. A Neo, The World Ends With You opening movie trailer is out. Liking the music, not a gigantic fan of some of the visual style they went with, but it's not like it's a gigantic far cry from the original either. A Nier Reincarnation English trailer pre-registration open for the West. That's gonna wrap up this one. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.